Why should I sacrifice my time, my money, my energy for hungry, uneducated people that I don't even know? Why should I be unselfish? Proverbs 17:15 says, acquitting the guilty and condemning the innocent, the Lord detests them both. So let's talk about social justice for just a minute. Those of us who grew up in the West usually grew up with two ideas that we hold very closely to our heart. On the one hand, we believe that everyone should choose right and wrong for himself. And on the other hand, we believe that everybody should care about social justice, about equal rights between people of different races and genders. Now, if you take these two ideas next to each other, maybe you start to see a contradiction. On the one hand, we say there's no absolute right and wrong. You choose for yourself what's right in your life. And on the other hand, we say, well, but everybody should care about social justice, about the oppressed. We teach children and say, you should live out your own ideals, your own personal moral values. And on the other hand, we say, but all children should be responsible and care for the oppressed. Imagine this child was to ask a question. Imagine if the child would say, but why? Why should I care about the poor or about people who look different than me or speak different languages? What if this doesn't align with my own personal idea of right and wrong? And then people could say, well, but this is self-evident. Every responsible person knows that you should care about those who are oppressed. But of course, there are many cultures and many people groups around the world to whom this is not self-evident. It might be self-evident to socially liberal Europeans, but not in the rest or in many parts of the world. And this is where the Bible has something tremendous to say to this question of what do we base social justice on in reality. The Bible actually says that those involved in social justice work are actually doing God's work. Social justice is not primarily rooted, according to Scripture, in human rights or in the importance of activism, but because God takes oppression personally and seriously, and so should His children. Christian missionaries around the world are building hospitals and schools and involved in educating those less fortunate than themselves at this very moment. They're not arguing about classes of oppression or about who's the most privileged. They are simply down in the dirt helping people who need help in a physical way. And this can be true in your life as well, especially in the midst of a global pandemic where so many people are experiencing hardship emotionally and financially. Whether it means you sponsor a hungry child in Africa, or whether it means you help a family in your neighborhood who's in some sort of physical need. When you are involved in social justice work, you are doing God's work, because God takes oppression seriously.